Hi guys, my Salvation Revelation here. Today I'm making a video about something else that I wanted to about. This is about Halloween. I know a lot of people are getting online and talking about Halloween. I know a lot of pastors are saying how it's not a good thing to celebrate and how people should stay away from this. And I'm just here to tell you, in my experience, I agree. But before we get started, I just want to ask you guys subscribe to my channel, hit the like button if you like it, and also share this widely with anybody who you feel that this may help. There's a lot of people reaching out to me as I've been talking about deliverance and my experience with New Age and cult practices and being saved, that are trying to find their way out of the situations that they've fallen into, and they've been, led into these false religions and spirituality and things like that. So please, by all means, subscribe and share widely. Okay, so getting back to the whole thing with Halloween. Let's talk about that. As a Wiccan, previously a former Wiccan, okay, for us Halloween was called not Halloween. It was called Samhain. Some people say Samhain, but it's actually called Samhain. Samhain is a pagan holiday that goes way back, pre-Christianity, and it was something that pagans celebrated. And through time, as Christianity started to become more of the way that there was a push for one God, which was Jesus, and as Christianity came through Europe and through, that whole progression through time, and this falls on the Catholics. No offense to the Catholics, but this is something that was done by the Catholics. They were trying to get the pagans to conform to this new faith that they found, this new religion. They wanted them to embrace Christianity. So they were taking their former holidays and changing them into Christian holidays to make them accept it more, because there was such an unrest amongst pagans. They started changing their holidays. So what was once Samhain, they changed to All Hallows Eve, which celebrates the saints. Then instead of having it on October 31st, they changed it to November 1st, which would be All Hallows Eve, which eventually became All Saints Day. So you see how that started to change. Now, Samhain was a holiday for the pagans, or it wasn't necessarily a holiday. It was something that they I can't even explain it. We'll get to that in a second. Samhain was something that they believed. The pagans believed that the veil between the life and death were the thinnest. The spirit world and the living world. That veil between the both of them were the thinnest. And at that time was the best time to communicate with the dead, or the dead could reach into our living realm. And that's what they believed. Many people at that time, during this time that paganism was the religion of the day, they were fearful. A lot of people were fearful of the spirit realm. They feared the dead. They feared spirit. And what they would do was carve apples and turnips and carve ugly faces in them and leave them out on their property. And hopefully these things would scare them away. It's the same idea with the gargoyles. They would dress up like they were spirits themselves, like they were of the dead. So these dead spirits would look at them and think that they were the same and leave them alone and go find some other living human being to bother. So this is what Samhain was about. In those days, Samhain was something, the witches would, or the pagans would, honor the dead. It's kind of like Day of the Dead in Mexico, how you put out a plate of food and you remember that deceased family member or that grandparent, and you put out food or a cigar and some wine and stuff, and place that seat at the dinner table for them. and remember them. So it's almost like communicating and hoping and embracing, for those people who were practicing that way, the spirit, the spirit of a dead one. And I'll tell you right now, none of that's true. Those are all there. Those are familiar spirits, and familiar spirits are demonic. They're demons. They're not your grandmother. They're not your cousin. They're not your uncle or your aunt. They are demons. They are not anything that you think that you're talking to. So this is something that, as you know, a former witch, I used to be a witch. I was in a coven. I was a Wiccan. You know, and although we think this is all earthbound and wonderful, and yet the spirit of the water and the trees have spirits and stuff, this is all demonic, and it's all not of God. These are all like sub gods, if you really wanted to think about it, because God created everything. And this is what these people, you know, pagans and New Agers who are into Wiccan, this was a very high holy day for people that I was involved in. We would do moon circles, we would do circles, we would do casting spells and doing our rituals and all kinds of stuff, you know, crystals, meditation, whatever, just to get in communication with our guides, or the dead, or somebody from the other side, whether you're clairvoyant or whatever. That's what this is about. It's getting in touch with that side, and none of it is of God. So I just want to let you guys know that no, if you think that that it's okay for a Christian to participate in this kind of activity and do these things, it is not. And I highly recommend that you stay away from it, because every time we do these things, we're opening up doors. Do you want to open up doors to the demonic? No, I don't think so, because I'll tell you what happened to me. I would not wish it on anybody else. I don't care what you're involved in. I don't care. I'm not that person. I wouldn't want to see anybody suffer the way I have, because it was Jesus Christ that saved me. And, you know, embrace that. You know, Jesus, there was no way for my salvation and no way for me to get out of this. When you are demonically oppressed or possessed, or, you know, a demonic entity enters you, these things don't want to go, you know. And you could read that in Mark, in the book of Mark, talks all about what Jesus came to do, and it was to cast out demons. And that's what he spent the majority of his ministry here for the 3 years that he was active. What he spent his time doing: healing the sick, raising the dead, and casting out demons. You know, these things do exist. This has come, you know, back in the time of the Israelites. This is what happened to people. They were dabbling in occult practices, and they were praying to Baal and all these other Baphomet, all these other false gods, and they opened doors to demons, and they became demonized. So, with that said, no. You know, sending your kids out dressed up as a spirit to go trick-or-treating and ask for candy is wrong. It's satanic, it's demonic, it's occult, and you're just opening up the doors to and inviting these dark entities into your life. And, you know, they will pop up. Give it time. Your life will start to change, and it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a while, but I will tell you, these things are bad. They're very bad, and they're hard to get rid of. Anyway, that being said, stay away from it. Stay away from paganism. Stay away from Halloween. Let's celebrate the Lord. If you have any further questions or you want to know anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And just know, this is for real. It's for real. Witches celebrate this stuff. You know, Satanists celebrate on Halloween. This is or Samhain. It's their high holy day. God bless you. I hope this helps you. And if you have any questions, please, by all means, subscribe to my channel. If you have a comment or need help with deliverance, please hit me up. I got my email address in the description box as usual. And that's it. I'll talk to you soon. God bless, and have a blessed week.